All rise. Support Court with Judge Vonda B is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB1063, Ford case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Ms. Ford, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Yes, Your Honor. I came here to request to be taken off child support.
All right.
My child is almost 18 right now. I'm still sending cash apps, still taking care of my child, so I'm just confused on how the child is about to be 18. He's in the house with his new fiance.
Ms. Ford shows up to court prepared and self-assured. She is requesting that her child support obligation be terminated, claiming that her son, who is almost 18 and a senior in high school, doesn't need financial assistance because she has been sending him extra money directly. Judge Vonda quickly reminds her that the matter isn't about personal beliefs, but rather about legal orders and the judge's career child's primary residence. Although Ford maintains that she is doing more than enough, Judge Vonda is only just starting to consider the facts.
Well, 2 incomes, and I feel like I just need to be taken off.
All right, so you came to court to ask to be taken off child support because he has a 2-parent income?
And because I do take care of my child.
All right, so what's the legal basis that you're asking to be removed from child support?
What am I paying child support for when I can take care of my own child? My child is just currently living with him because I'm on the road due to my business and entertainment and stuff like that. But as far as cash apps and financial responsibility, I do that without him. My child is almost 18, so I don't feel like I need to go through him for everything.
Okay, I understand. And you say he's almost 18, so he's 17.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What grade is he in?
Ford claims that the father is abusing her by continuing to collect child support, while she continues to provide for their son's needs. She accuses him of using the money to support his new household. Judge Vonda immediately stops this, stating that the child resides with the father and that a valid court order requires support until the child turns 18 or completes high school. Judge Vonda gives her a stern side-eye and reminds her that the youngster is still 17 years old, despite Ford's claim that she would never do anything to him.
Senior?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got you. When does he graduate?
In May.
All right. Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him?
No, I just feel like he's a user and I'm taking care of him and his new fiance.
How is he a user?
He's still allowing me to pay child support for a kid that I'm providing full support for.
Right, but you understand you're under a court order to pay child support. That's not necessarily something that he's doing. That's what the court did the first time. You understand that, right?
Yes, but I just feel like he could have denied it or even spoke up and told you guys that I'm taking care of the child financially.
Why would he do that?
Because he don't need my money. I'm taking care of my own child.
Well, let's play devil's advocate a little bit. Will you have done that for him if the roles were reversed?
Yes, ma'am.
You would have opted not to put him on child support.
If he's already provided financial responsibility, exactly, I wouldn't have done that.
I don't believe that.
Okay. I don't know. I see a lot of things when I'm sitting up here, right? So I can't necessarily say you would have done it or you would not have done it, but people in your certain circumstances, I can't say that I've seen them willingly not put the guy on child support when the roles.
Ford acknowledges that her son enjoys living with his father despite her frustration, and she doesn't want to interfere with that. Her tone softens, and she requests at the very least a reduction in the support amount. Judge Vonda points out that the child no longer needs daycare, which could support a decrease if Ford's claims are backed up by evidence. But the judge warns her that making a change is not the same as proving it in court.
That even matters, that you take care of your child, the child lives with him, so you should be paying child support. You'd agree with me, right?
I mean, my child don't have to technically live with him, but you're the judge, so whatever you say.
But he does. I mean, technically, no, he doesn't, but he likes living with his dad, right?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so you won't want to unroot him from living with dad if he likes being over there. No, you agree with me?
I agree.
Okay, all right. So Is it okay if I move over to him, or you done telling me everything you want me to know?
Yes, ma'am. With just one thing. So even if I'm not taking completely off, I do feel like it do need to be decreased, especially with his age. He doesn't need childcare or anything of that nature. So I will be requesting a decrease if it can't be just thrown out the court order.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay, sir. Your son lives with you.
Yes, ma'am.
And how long has he been living with you?
Pretty much all the way up till now, pretty much.
So even as a child from the time this order was entered?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And is it true what she's saying, she give extra outside of paying child support?
I mean, she does. I mean, it's a little here, a little bit here and there.
Mr. Ford attests that he has been the main caregiver for their son and that he lives with him full time. Highlights of his cross-examination over the years. He claims that the current child support amount is about $700 per month, which he uses to pay for health insurance, school supplies, food, sports, and all other daily expenses. When questioned if Ms. Ford offers any additional assistance, the judge confirms that he pays $350 a month for an insurance policy that covers both him and the child. He responds that her contributions are, at most, inconsistent. At this point, the court must weigh two quite different arguments.
It's roughly around, it's probably about 700.
Okay. Who carries health insurance?
I do.
All right. How much is your health insurance?
Between, let's see, it's around roughly about $350.
For your son only, or does that include the both
That's
of you?
with both of us.
Okay. All right. So if we split that in half, it's $175 a person, right? Okay. And your son is 17. He's still in high school. He graduates high school in May. All right. What other expenses does he have? Like, is he involved in anything extracurricular?
Sports. I mean, he plays basketball, track.
Who pays for basketball?
He
Who pays for track?
as well.
Does mom help out at all?
Ms. Ford maintains that she uses Cash App to send her son between $500 and $600 a month. She claims that the money is used for clothing, shoes, sports equipment, food, and even pizza for the family. Mr. Ford denies any knowledge of these contributions and claims to handle the majority of the expenses himself. When the judge asks for proof, Ford offers to show her phone, confirming that the payments were made to her son and not the father. This not only clears up any confusion but also shows that she has been stepping.
Well, she says she's seen Cash App and such.
I mean, that's, here and there, It's here and there, it's not. Yeah.
But sending extra outside of the $700, that counts for something, right?
Counts for some, yeah. I mean, but I feel like, he's with me most of the time, so I feel like, that is needed. So, I mean, that's just my opinion.
Okay. What is her visitation like with your son?
She comes with 2 or 3 times a week, or he'll stay with her 3 times a week, something like that.
Okay. So is that pretty consistent?
Yeah, it's consistent.
All right. So consistently, I'm back over to you.
Thank you.
Consistently, what does your visitation look like?
Anytime that I'm in Dallas, I'm spending time with my child. And he also does not provide any clothing or anything of that nature for him.
He lives with him, so he has to be.
No, ma'am. I drops all that off. I'm a fashion designer and I have my own clothing line. So my child.
Judge Vonda provides a straightforward evaluation. Since Ms. Ford has been sending money directly and her son is still participating in sports, some of her claims probably have merit. The judge cautions that parental competition benefits no one and only causes needless conflict for the child. Someone here is either dishonest or ignorant of the whole situation. Ms. Ford claims to provide sneakers, uniforms, and daily necessities, while Mr. Ford insists he handles all of that himself.
Everything he needs for basketball, uniforms and stuff, I cover that. When he needs shoes.
He just said he pays for it.
maybe the training, but as far as his equipment and shoes and stuff, my son asked me for the money for that, and I sent him the Cash App. I even have the proof. So,
Does she do that?
I'm paying for that stuff. I don't know what she's talking about.
Well, somebody not telling the truth.
ma'am, I have Cash App receipts to show that I send money for uniforms, sneakers, wristbands, anything, movies, any extra activities my son would like to take part in.
We can call him.
Well, no, we don't want to call him. He's still a child. We don't want to do that. But somebody is not being honest. If she's saying she's sending you money through Cash App, are you putting in the memo line like what it's for?
No, I'm sending it to my son directly.
You're sending it to the child directly. So maybe you just don't know that she's doing that.
I guess that's the case because I don't know anything about that.
What are you paying for exactly?
As far as, uniforms, his everyday, food, clothes, everything he has to
She's saying she provides all the clothes.
He just buy food sometimes, and I even send Cash App for pizza and stuff like that. So I'm paying for pizza for him and his fiance and my son as well.
So you're doing more.
Exactly.
Is what you're saying. On average, with Cash App, how much would you say monthly you're sending your son?
$500 minimum. His sneakers is $200 and better, so I'm buying him 2-3 pair of sneakers a month. Actually, it's probably about $600 a month, ma'am, that I'm sending additional.
Since the child is 17 and still enrolled in high school, Ms. Ford cannot be released from her obligation to pay child support until he turns 18 or graduates, whichever comes later. However, the judge acknowledges that Ms. Ford is probably contributing more than the $700 officially required and lowers her monthly support to $450. Judge Vonda explains the law in clear terms. This updated sum more accurately represents her average contributions from her Cash App transactions and her lessons learned about judicial accountability.
Assuming that it's true, because you didn't say whether or not it was true or not, I think she should get somewhat of a break on the child support, the monthly obligation, at least. Health insurance was never ordered for you to reimburse it to him. Mm-hmm. So what I'll do is just keep it like it is, where you just keep maintaining the health insurance, and you didn't file anything to request that anyway, and you didn't file anything requesting any adjustments to the health insurance. So what we'll do is just decrease your child support to $450, because according to your testimony, you're sending roughly about $500 anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
On Cash App. So we'll just reduce your child support obligation to $450, and you'll have to pay that through graduation, which is another 6 months or so,
yes,
something
ma'am.
like that. I think that's fair. I think that's what's in your son's best interest. According to her, she's doing a lot, and she's giving it directly to your son. And unless you have something in writing that can refute that, then I have to assume what she's saying is true.
I have no clue about the Cash App thing. There was no conversation. I don't check his Cash App like that.
Well, I would hope you wouldn't have a conversation with your son about that, because it's really kind of inappropriate, for you all to discuss that. But if he's still enrolled in those activities and those activities are still taking place, there has to be some validity to what she's saying if you know that you're not covering that extra. So that's what it'll be. Your child support will be reduced to $450.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
I'm tired of taking care of his other kids as well.
Huh?
I'm tired of taking care of his whole household.
You
his
don't
family.
know what. Now, see, you were starting on a good track. Don't come in here and backslide. Okay?
All right, yes,
You do
ma'am.
not know what go on in his house, and quite frankly, it is none of your business. So is there anything further that you have that pertains to your business?
No, ma'am. That's it. That's it.
Okay. Do you have anything further?
I'm just ready for this to be over so I can live happy ever after with my wife and my
Well,
kids.
go ahead and live.
Judge Vonda quickly silences Ms. Ford when she makes a crude comment about supporting Mr. Ford's entire household while she is finalizing the new order. Don't backslide now. That's not your business. The judge maintains the current health insurance arrangement and clarifies that child support and custody are distinct legal matters. The final decision dismisses both parents and mandates $450 every month until the child graduates high school with no back pay due. Hopefully, this puts an end to the issue permanently.